Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee?
He's making New York and open.
Wake up, wake up.
So he deserves it. He's making
Nice
New York.
run.
I mean, yeah.
He was.
Wake up, wake up.
But you already do that.
Not to close, I need to.
Oh, right. Oh!
Good morning, everyone. No. Is there anything else you want to say, Bob?
Oh, sorry.
You're a monster.
I was thinking about Mitch McConnell for a second. May he rest in peace.
Stop.
No, I'm sure he's like getting some rest right now. He looked really tired.
In peace.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, July 28th. This is Wake Up in Provincetown. I'm Bob Keary.
I'm Harrison Fish.
Thank you for joining us. We've got a really wonderful show for you today. So many fun, exciting people here to talk to and hear perform.
We really do.
Seriously.
Coming in today, we have Edie. She has her show at the post office. She's going to perform and sing about that. We also have Tammie Brown, the legend herself.
Miss Amber Martin from, I wanted to say New Orleans when I met her, but she told me she's from Texas.
Work.
I know. Did you hear her singing?
Yeah, it was wild.
She's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
She blew my mind in like 5 seconds.
I also hung out with Georg last week over at the library at the Crown and Anchor. He has his show up right now, so we're going to chat with him in a bit.
And I got to sit down with beloved pillar of the community, Tony Valentino, who is the proprietor of Bayside Betsy's. It's I remember shooting this interview. We shot it back in March, and Mark was weeping by the end of it, crying. Because Tony, you have to wait and see. It's very moving, very community spirit of Provincetown.
They were chopping onions in the kitchen.
Mark says they were chopping onions.
Mark was not in the kitchen. Mark was at the bar, crying.
Into a martini.
How was your week?
It was really fun.
What'd you do?
I have a list. So Friday night, I worked here right after the show, and then Friday night I had dinner at Mac's. My good friend Sonny's boyfriend has been in town for the last few weeks, and that was his last night, so we got a little crew together and had dinner at Mac's, which was very delicious. Then after, we scooted on over to the brewery for the Babes and Boys viewing of the Women's World Cup game between the U.S. and Vietnam. They won 3-0 that night.
They who?
The women's U.S. soccer team.
The U.S. soccer team won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We won. Yeah. And unfortunately, they're doing great, but they did tie the Netherlands earlier this week, 1-1. But they're still in good shape. I think this is, by the end of the World Cup, I figure out how the tournament works and then don't remember the next time around. This is like qualifiers, right?
Yes.
These are qualifiers.
Round robin.
Yeah. So they just have to do like pretty good to make it.
Point system.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
And they have a win and a tie, which will probably put them up.
That's great.
Into the next round, yeah. But it was such a fun party. Tons of women came out to support, tons of the community. It was super, super cute. It's so fun. Like, I would never sit and watch a sports game, period. But watching it in an environment like this with a bunch of people who are really into it is very, very, very fun.
That's what makes sports fun.
Yeah.
Like being in a stadium with 30,000 other people who, well, half of them who are rooting for the same thing that you're rooting for.
I just thought that's what drag shows were for. Yeah, most of the games are gonna be hosted here at the Provincetown Brewing Company with Carmen and Sam from Babes and Boys. So put that on your calendar.
What if the U.S. team loses?
Then we're going to show Jamaica.
Work. They're gonna. I don't know if you heard that. They're gonna transition. If the U.S. team drops out, we're gonna transition to being Jamaica fans, which I love.
We already are Jamaica fans.
Well, yeah.
Nicole's right over there, Harrison.
And she'll have her jerk chicken, so it'll be delicious and fun. Yeah. Then I worked all day Saturday. Sunday was really cute. I worked brunch and happy hour at the Red Inn, and then did a quick change, did my Wonder Woman twirl, and then headed to see the Barbie movie at the drive-in.
You saw that on Saturday at the drive-in?
Sunday night.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it Sunday morning.
What did you think?
I thought everything that Fox News said was right.
Yeah.
It is a feminist woke-a-thon. And that's exactly why I loved it. I thought it was great.
My favorite was Fox News tweeted like, "It's just woke propaganda, blah blah blah," and someone retweeted and it said, "Stop! We already want to see it. You're getting us too excited."
True.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was really, really well done. Because when you hear they're making a movie like that, you're like, how are they going to turn this into a story?
I think they did a really cute job.
I do too.
Yeah. So I went to the drive-in with 4 or 5 friends, and in my head, I was like, oh, I'll surprise them, because I was driving all of us, so I was picking them up one by one, and I was like, oh, I'll surprise them by dressing up. So I dressed up as Barbie, and it was cute. Mm-hmm. And then everyone that I picked up along the way was also wearing pink, and I was like, oh, I love that everyone knew or thought to wear pink. But then I got to the drive-in, and I was like, oh, right, there's gonna be other people here. And I looked crazy, and like, I think conservatively I felt that I was inappropriately dressed to be around children.
Oh.
I was wearing my breastplate, and the nipples are kind of wild on it. You know? Do you have the picture? Is that up? Did you find it?
So local honey went to see Barbie.
Yes. I mean, I threw on a blonde wig, my breastplate, some pink shorts, some pink sunglasses, and my pink Croc heels.
And this was in Wellfleet.
Yeah, we drove 12. But I did arrive. Everyone that saw me was, I mean, the vibe was incredible. It was a lot of women, a lot of young girls, a few gay guys thrown in there, and everyone was wearing pink. Everyone was super social, fun, and friendly. So I pulled in, I parked, I got out of my car, and within like the first 5 or 10 minutes, like 4 or 5 children and their parents came over to take pictures with me. And I think like from far away, they were like, a drag queen, let's go take a picture. And then they got close and they're like, oh, that's not a drag queen.
It sounds like you were grooming the children of Wellfleet.
I was not. I stayed in the look for about 5 whole minutes before
You're a pedophile.
No.
You should have gone to see it in Provincetown because everyone was gay and in pink.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was pink, and it felt like more representative of the full spectrum of people who love Barbie. Which was cute. It was the first time in a while I'd gone to a movie and felt like it was the experience of seeing it with the other people I was seeing it with, not only my friends, but everyone there, felt like such a fun, joyous experience. And it was amazing. And I was like, oh, this is what this movie is for. This is why this movie has such a huge cultural impact.
I predict an Oscar nomination for production design.
Oh,
the sets were mind-blowing. It was so beautiful and colorful and fun. Loved it. Go see the Barbie movie right now.
Where did you see it?
Here in town.
Oh, nice. At the Water's Edge?
At the Water's Edge Cinema at 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
Book in advance, you're selling out.
Huh?
Book in advance.
Yeah, this movie is selling out days ahead of time. It was genius programming to put Barbie on the screen in Provincetown.
Oh, definitely.
Against Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that yet?
No, not yet. I'll probably wait till I can watch it on my TV.
Yeah.
I do have some stats about the Barbie movie. So Barbie has officially become the biggest opening weekend for a film directed by a woman ever. The movie grossed $377 million worldwide, $155 million in the US and Canada, which is like, that's crazy, right? Stop.
I was thinking about how well Barbie did.
That's like Avatar numbers, right?
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is obviously spawning rumors that Mattel is going to create a Mattel cinematic universe. They already have
Oh my God, really?
They already have Polly Pocket in production. They've cast Lily Collins, the girl from Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
And that's been in production for a while. I heard of that a while ago. Lena Dunham is
She's writing
talks to write and direct it.
Cool.
Which people have mixed feelings about. People have mixed feelings about Lena Dunham. I'm just
loved
like
Girls.
Yeah, I loved Girls. She's a little messy sometimes, but people are allowed to be messy.
It's part of her shtick and charm.
What else do I got here? We already spoke about how the movie upset conservatives and they call it woke propaganda. And I want them to realize that you've probably never seen a movie in your life that isn't woke propaganda. Like every movie has themes of like socialism, helping poor people. Everyone, watch a Disney movie. It's all about, every one of them is about that. I'm like, you've never seen a movie that's not woke propaganda. And
These are the same people that were mad when Belle was reading a book in Beauty and the Beast.
Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were upset at the inclusion of Hari Neff, who portrayed Dr. Barbie. It's criticism of masculinity and the patriarchy, which I thought was a very lighthearted, soft way of criticizing masculinity and the patriarchy. Like, it wasn't that
It was
crazy.
pretty gentle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also a movie about dolls.
Yeah, right. I thought it was so fun. I thought it had a really great message. I do feel like they specifically, I don't want to say excluded, but they were like, I feel like often media that's created for women, they're often like, and gay guys too, like they're with us. And this one they were like, no, this is for women and not you, which I actually kind of felt refreshing and nice, because I often feel like gay men jump on the train and kind of take over women's issues sometimes. And I'm kind of glad they were like, this is for women, it's not for gay guys.
I felt like it was for gay guys.
You think?
You remember when they first enter the real world and the only people who don't make fun of them are the gay guys who are like, yes.
Right.
Just a little tip of the hat.
Yeah, and they also included the character of Alan, who is a Barbie doll that was introduced as like, he's Ken's friend. And then it created this lore of him being like Ken's gay lover.
You're just giving away the whole movie now for those of us who haven't seen it.
He's in it.
You've had a whole week.
You know he's in it. That role was played by Michael Cera, and I had this idea, and I think it would have been better. But when the Barbie movie got announced and it was happening, Trixie Mattel was doing an interview, and they're like, "Oh, they ask you to be in it?" And she's like, "No, but you know who they're going to call when it comes time to promote it." And lo and behold, Trixie Mattel has been at multiple red carpets at premieres all around the world, helping to promote the movie. And
Her name's Mattel.
Right, and at first I was like, oh, they should have made her one of the Barbies, and I'm like, no, they should have made her Alan. Trixie should have played Alan. I think that would have been really fun.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, you know. Please don't tell me my computer died. I won't have anything to talk about. Great. Ted Cruz also criticized the film. It's suggesting that a map shown in the movie was Chinese propaganda, saying the map supports China's claim to a disputed area of the South China Sea. Girl.
I mean, he's probably not wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure
they do things so that they'll play the movie in China.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Because if they don't do that, then China won't play it, and that's half of their international box office.
Interesting. I never thought of that.
Yep.
I did. So did Ted Cruz. Let's move on.
So see the Barbie movie.
Before we ruin the whole thing for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I will say this.
You had a
too.
week.
I will say this, though. I do believe that the final line of dialogue in the Barbie movie will go down in history with the final line of Casablanca, the final line of Some Like It Hot, the greatest final lines in cinematic history. The last line of this movie is that good.
Yeah, it was. I was shocked, and I had to think about how I felt about it.
Yeah, watch it as soon as you can.
I also had another full run of the Fantastics this week. We had 4 shows. All of them were nearly sold out. I think we had about 5 to 10 tickets left at each one. Trevi saw it last night. He loved it.
It looks like he loved it.
Yeah. But it was so much fun. We did an additional show this week, this past Tuesday. It was a special Family Week show, which was so much fun. It was kind of a relaxed audience. We kept the house lights up. People were encouraged to not feel restricted. They could move about, they could make noise, just to make people feel comfortable. We only did the first act, but that was really cute. I loved Family Week. I love having kids in town. As much as I understand people's feelings that it's like an inconvenience or whatever, however they feel about it, I think it is the work that our community should be doing to enrich our community, expand our community, and spread the message of Provincetown to the world.
Yeah, I wish I had been brought to Provincetown as a kid.
Oh, totally.
Don't you wish you had seen some of this? Mm-hmm. Like some, booger drag queen in a breastplate at a drive-in. You don't get that anywhere but Cape Cod.
True. I mean, I think that's not true, but you don't get it this good.
Well, without getting thrown in jail.
Right.
You can do it here.
Tuesday night, I also did something really fun. After the show, I went over to Jouot's Let Me Be Your Star, which is kind of like a live piano karaoke. You can send your own song. He'll play it for you. You can sing live. One thing I learned is that every person in this town is a singer. Mm-hmm. I'm over here like, I'm a singer. And I'm like, they're like, babe, everyone is. Like half the staff at the Crown and Anchor got up to sing, and I was like, damn.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild, really incredible. But after that, my friend Angelo took me on, him and his friends are doing a silent disco at some point coming up soon. I don't want them to be swarmed or mobbed, but we did a test run of it, which I had never done before. It's wild stuff. Silent discos are fun.
Tell everyone what that is.
It's everyone wears headphones and you get synced up and there's a playlist and everyone kind of works their way through town on a specific designated route, all listening to the same music, dancing in sync and just hanging out. But that's the explanation, but you wouldn't quite grasp what it really feels like until you were to do it. It's fun and wild and interesting.
Listening to music alone together.
Yeah, it's fun. I would suggest if you ever have the opportunity. Yeah, that's all I did this week. What did you do this week?
So much.
Great.
So you remember last Saturday, you guys, it's the end of July. Work's getting kind of hairy, which is everybody's been waiting for work to pop off. All the people in town are like, when is the summer going to start? Mm-hmm. It has fully started. Last Saturday at 9:30, it was like super busy. And this cute little straight, I hope you remember this happening, this cute little straight couple, patient and kind, they had waited about 35 minutes for their dinner. And they're sitting at the bar and they lean in, they're like, Bob, will you go check on our food? It's been a while. And I said, no. And the wife goes, what do you mean no? And I said, the opposite of yes, no. She was like, what? How can you say no to us? And I was like, because it's a Saturday in July. Look around you. If I go back there, they're going to yell at me. Just wait until it comes out.
And then they're going to be in a bad mood, and it's just going to take even longer.
Yeah, like you're just going to piss everybody off. And then it appeared as I was saying it, and I was like,
perfect. Honestly,
I was so, because she was like, we just thought maybe you didn't enter it in. I was like, now I'm offended.
That does happen sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But just be patient. If you're coming to Provincetown, be patient with your waiters, be patient with your bartenders, be patient with your drag queens, be patient with each other. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be patient with the children because they're leaving tomorrow. Family Week's over, right?
Yeah.
This is the end of Family Week. I love Family Week. All of my friends with kids
What's next week,
come.
Trevor? Quiet?
Just summer. It's called summer.
Silent disco.
It's my favorite.
It's just summer.
I love summer.
Summer Week? Oh, I've been waiting for Summer Week all summer. Yay!
Did you do anything else this week?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I saw...
Besides berate those guests?
We saw Amy Mann at Town Hall
No way.
on Wednesday night.
Baby,
That's not Amy Mann. I hate that you do this every single time. That's Amy Grant.
Oh, right.
So Amy Mann was really, really fun at Town Hall. And then last night I finally got to see Varla.
How was it? Was she up to her old tricks?
Did you see Varla yet this year?
Yeah, I saw
So
her.
there's like a whole segment devoted to that awful newspaper review that she got, where so like the words from the review are plastered on the video screen.
Yeah.
Where Paul Sullivan, a 20-year-old
drag him.
newspaper reporter, who, you know, Varla's been performing longer than that person's been alive.
Yeah. Varla G. Merman was born the same year as me.
Whoever assigned that person to review her show, anyway, the review said something like, though her beauty and looks have faded, Varla is still up to her same old tricks. That was the last line of the newspaper
Wild
review.
to me.
And she made hay from that. Like it was,
Yeah.
she just kept referencing it and being like, I'm never gonna drop it. And I feel like we should take Paul Sullivan to see Varla.
I think she sent comps to that newspaper for
Really?
them to come.
It was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, and silver lining was, so the line is like, she's still up to her old tricks, and she was like, you don't even know my old tricks, so here they are. And people have been referencing Varla Jean, is it a spoiler if I say?
Some of her old tricks.
Okay, she did some of her old tricks, and there's one that people always were like, she used to do this, and I thought I would never see it, and I got to see it. So definitely go see a show, it was so
And
incredible.
there's also lots of new tricks too, so eat it, Paul Sullivan.
Drag him. Okay, let's race through a couple news stories because
Okay.
we've got so many people on the show. So we had mentioned last week the Dune Shack controversy that's been happening over the past couple months, that the superintendent of the Cape Cod National Seashore had agreed to meet with the select board this past Monday. They had written him a letter in mid-May. He responded mid-June, said he couldn't come that month and would come the next month. He ended up canceling day of due to scheduling conflicts, which is weird. I feel like I feel like the superintendent of the Cape Cod National Seashore would have his schedule handled a little better to know when he has conflicts more earlier than the day before. He did agree to come to next month's meeting on the 28th of August. It sounds like he's just trying to create the defense for himself. Well, it's already done. There's nothing I can do now. Like, it very much seems like
What
that.
is colloquially known as kicking the can down the road.
Yes.
I'll see you a month from now.
Above my pay grade.
Yeah.
That's what's
I
happening.
didn't know this was happening today,
Ugh.
so I won't be there.
Also at the select board meeting, there was the select board voted to put the town on track to create up to 100 new apartments at 2 different locations. One of them is on Champaigner Road at the old site of the police station, and another on Nelson Ave. So Christine Barker and M. Tatiana Eck, it's basically approved but not official, a contract to create 40 market rate apartments at the old police station site.
Are they going to keep the bars?
I hope so.
Like your apartment has like a jail cell wall.
Right. I think they're just going to tear down that mold trap.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. So those are going to be market rate and year-round occupancy only. The select board also agreed to purchase 3 adjacent undeveloped properties on Nelson Ave. Zoning now allows for them to create 18 units there, but Town Manager Moore said that once the sewer is extended to Nelson Ave, it is possible that they could create up to 60 units there.
Amazing.
Yeah, this is all great news. I'm excited to see these moving forward.
Yeah. That is great news for the community. Finally, some good news.
You ready for some not good news?
Sure.
So it was announced yesterday that Ron DeSantis will be attending a fundraiser on Cape Cod this Saturday night in Cotuit. Am I saying that right? Cotuit. It's hosted by several unnamed Massachusetts donors at a private location, and tickets are $3,300 per person. Cotuit is a short distance from Martha's Vineyard, where he infamously had migrants flown there and dropped off on Martha's Vineyard. Are you setting me up for my next story?
No, go for it.
State Representative Dylan Fernandez did tweet that it said, hearing that DeSantis is coming to Cape Cod, to the community where refugee families he exploited for his political gain now live, to beg for money for his failing campaign. What a waste of money. He is a coward who bullies people weaker than him, and he will never be president. I think he's definitely right in that last part.
I hope so.
Yeah. He also announced that he laid off a third of his campaign staff this past week.
Oh, it's going that badly.
Yes, it's going very poorly.
Well, I keep reading headlines, and I'm like, you don't count these people out, because that's when their supporters make them president.
And I do, right. But I do hope that there is some, why am I blanking on the word? When people go for the nomination for the Republican Party.
When people go for it?
I hope that it's contested so that they eat each other alive, like the Democrats do every year. Yeah. So what Bob has been referencing since the beginning of the show, this past week at a press conference this Wednesday afternoon, it appeared that Mitch McConnell suffered a medical event while speaking. A few words into a discussion of the department's defense funding bill, he paused for a lengthy amount of time mid-sentence. It was 23 full seconds. This caused the people around him to intervene. Wyoming Senator John Barrasso stepped in, grabbed his wrist, and asked if there was anything else he wanted to say, in which Mitch McConnell was escorted out of public view. He did later return, saying that he was fine.
It's hard to keep your eyes open that long. Did you read the Onion headline?
No.
Mitch McConnell strokes out while imagining a happy black person.
Jesus. I want to bring up a point, because we've got, not, I don't want to say nasty messages. I understand the sentiment of these messages around the Titanic submersible implosion. Mm-hmm. I think people criticize us for speaking lightly on it and kind of poking fun at a tragic situation. And I don't want, the medical aspect of this is sad, it is scary. There's a lot of people that are put in situations like this, and it is sad and scary, like I said. But this is where I disagree. I think if you're a bad person and you're doing horrible things and you're using your life, your time, your energy to make other people's lives bad, I will be the first person dancing on your grave. I will be the first person celebrating the bad things that happen to your life, because that is karma and you deserve it. I understand other people argue that that you should feel empathy for these people, and I think that is actually a very dangerous and bad idea. I think people should think twice before they do bad things, knowing that this will be happening to them. And I think your empathy is misplaced, misguided, and dangerous. What do you think, Bob?
Do you have anything else you need to say, Bob?
I was just empathizing with Mitch McConnell.
Don't do it. Okay, one more quick story.
I love the way that the cameras were zooming in on him as he just stood there.
I know.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it's sad.
It felt mean, and I loved it.
And I do think, and I know I'm going to get dragged for this as well, I do think this is another example of why we shouldn't have the extreme elderly running our country.
This was an argument for age limits on elected officials.
Yeah. I mean, with everything that's been happening with Dianne Feinstein, like, it's not good, y'all.
Yeah. You should have to be less than 200 years old to hold an elected office.
I did. Oh, I watched her TikTok and it was so messed up. The TikTok I watched was basically saying that like a lot of people are like, it's because he got the vaccine, and they're like, babe, it's because he's old. And what they said was that, which really cracked me up, said that he was closer to mummification than a deep breath.
And we're mean?
Right. I mean, I'm probably for saying it. One more thing, and this is a member of the Wake Up family had a loss this week. One of our producers, Andrew Haig, lost his dog Gunner. Very sad. He was one of the best boys. When I met him the first time, he licked every crevice of my ear in the sweetest way. He was such a sweet dog. Everyone who met him loved him and felt his energy and spirit. And in a town of good boys, in a town of so many good boys and good girls, he was one of the best. We will miss you so much, Gunner.
We love you, Andrew.
Yeah. Let's watch a video.
Okay, you guys listen. You didn't press play yet, did you?
No.
Okay, great. So Tony Valentino has lived in town since the very late 90s, or actually 2005, I think he says in the interview. But this is he exemplifies a spirit of old Provincetown that I think is slipping away little by little. And I love everything that he's doing right now. Please go and support him and his team over at Bayside Betsy's. Enjoy this.
With Bayside Betsy himself, Tony Valentino. Tony, thank you for making some time to come talk with us. When did you take over Betsy's?
So we took over February 9th of 2022 and reopened February 11th of 2022, and we closed on the building in August of 2022.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are town's only year-round breakfast, lunch, and dinner restaurant every day.
Liz is open as well. I'm not sure.
She's close. I don't think she does all 7 days a week. She's like closes
almost
one
there.
Breakfast or something. But
okay.
the two of you essentially alone propping up the town all year.
All year, and then Canteen does lunch and dinner pretty much all year, and Venezis does as well. So there are a few of us trying to be here for the townies in the community all the time.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about your personal connection with Provincetown?
So, I had never been here before 1999. My ex-husband brought me here for a week-long getaway, but about a year after we met. And the first place we ate was Bayside Betsy's.
Huh.
And Betsy greeted us at the door and made us feel like we belonged and like we were part of the town and like this is where we should be. And that experience of Betsy's never went away. And I never forgot how Betsy treated us, how her staff treated us, the warm, welcoming energy that was permeating the building and the staff and the experience of being here.
Are you still doing the top mess as well?
Yes.
How do you have the time to do all this?
I train my staff to replace me so that when I'm not there, it operates as if I'm there. Last spring was a great example. I managed to avoid COVID until Memorial Day weekend of last year. And I was out for a number of weeks with COVID. And one of my very regular guests kept messaging me, why are you ignoring me? Why won't you come to my table anymore? Why won't you talk to me? And I'm like, dude, I was out with COVID. He goes, you couldn't have been. Your staff kept telling me that, but everything was running like you were here. And I was like, and that's the way it's supposed to be, sweetie.
That's fantastic.
So I am blessed to have a very talented staff at both restaurants.
In this day and age of every major property in town changing hands, you're not going to sell this to some corporation or anything.
Got it. I've wanted Bayside Betsy's since I would say 2010, but I couldn't afford it. When we moved from Baltimore and gave up the furniture or the fabric store and the distributing company, we started over, and it was not the same lifestyle we were used to in Maryland, because everything costs so much more. And the winters are a lot less lucrative than we were accustomed to. So it was a bit of a lifestyle change, and I spent a lot of seasons working very hard in order to be able to afford to buy something, and then several years later, all of my friends were having to leave town because there was no housing, there was nowhere to go. And I offhandedly said to someone that I really wished I could afford a bigger place so that I could help my friends have a place to live. And lo and behold, a property on the West End was available with multiple bedrooms, and I was able to swing it, and I did. And 9 of us lived there quite happily as our own little community in a really big house in the West End. And people came, people went, and they grew and they moved on. And when Betsy's became available, and someone said to me, "Gee, you didn't get that motorhome you wanted. Why don't you just buy Betsy's and stay here?" And I'm like, "Well, it's too expensive." And there was this long discussion, and I'm like, maybe I should really look into that. And I did, and the only way to make it happen is in order to finance this property at the ridiculous price that it was, I had to give up my house. So most of my roommates were already moving elsewhere, etc., or had found year-round affordable housing where they didn't have to live in a commune. So I sold the house and helped my remaining roommates find other living accommodations. Brought 2 of them along. 2 of them live with me still here. We all live upstairs. And so acquiring this allowed me to offer year-round employment to townies and therefore help them with their year-round housing. You have to be able to make money to pay rent to live here. You have to be able to buy your groceries, so this was my way of doing that. And also my way of keeping my staff, because the people from Topmast come here for the winter, and then they're able to go back to Topmast in the summer when the students come to fill in all the open positions.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing. Community is my favorite word. It's why I'm here. And thank you for being such a great part of it. And we'll see you guys soon.
Go by Betsy's, say hi to Tony and everybody. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner year-round.
Work.
They're like a community hub.
Please welcome Tammie Brown to the Wake Up set.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. Good morning. Welcome. Hola, ¿qué tal? Dobre utro. That means good morning in Bulgarian. How about that?
You're learning Bulgarian.
Better believe it. That's why I came to B-Town to hang out with the immigrant workforce. They're my favorite people.
This is your 3rd year of shows in town.
3rd year, yes it is. And my 1st year was at the Post Office Cabaret before the big one hit.
In 2019.
2019, yeah.
And there was a little bit of controversy in that show.
Yeah, because I did the whole show on gun control and different things like that.
Deal with that situation.
Some lady ran out crying. Well,
Any
nobody finds
negativity in my life.
And if you're in a situation with a mass
I'm not
shooting
gonna
like could
have
just
any of
happen right
this.
now, I suggest just lay on the
fucking
ground
bring
and pretend you're dead,
blood
because you don't want to end up, one of those mercy killings. You know what I mean? That's what they're gonna do. Get with the program.
What's your show about this year?
This show this year is called Time Machine. Time Machine, set the scene, powered by gasoline.
I'm no dumb.
Have you ever contemplated if you had a time machine where you'd go, what you'd wear?
Where I'd go. I never thought about what I'd wear yet, though.
I'd go to the future. You
go to the
would?
future?
Yeah. Would you go to the
Nice.
past?
I wouldn't go anywhere. I
Okay.
would stay right here where I am right now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because
I'd
that
go
makes
like
the future.
I had like a really good sandwich last week. Maybe to go back to then.
Where was it from?
Cafe Maria.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So you're over at the Red Room this year.
Yes, I'm at the Red Room this year, and I'll be there for Spooky Bear to do their Halloween party. So stay tuned for that. And what else? The Crown and Anchor is actually sponsoring my housing, so thank you so much to Jonathan and the rest of the crew. And I live at the Moppet House in case you're interested and want to sneak in like some crackhead did the other day.
Oh, Jesus. You do shows in the winter in PV, correct?
Yes, I do. I'll be there this February at the Act 2 in Puerto Vallarta.
Where do you call home?
What do I call home? It varies from Long Beach to Long Beach, California, bow wow wow yippee yippee over to Texas, Texas, the Gulf Coast of Texas, Rockport, Fulton, Gulf Coast Shrimps.
Yum.
And how long is your run of shows this time?
This time is it's a month and a week.
Excellent.
Month and a week.
You're doing 3 shows a week?
I've been doing 3 shows a week. Yep.
Killer. What nights is it? I saw the dates, but I couldn't figure out what nights they're doing.
Well, the nights are all tossed up.
Okay.
This week will be Sunday night, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll be back. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday. It's all tossed up because of the debacle at the Pilgrim House.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
That's okay.
Misconceptions there. Check her out.
Okay.
Incredible. She was on our show last week. Yeah.
She's the best.
She really is. She's the
International.
sweetest. What can we expect from your show? Singing, dancing, comedy?
Singing, dancing, comedy, a real good time, razzle dazzle.
We love some razzle dazzle.
What nights is the show?
Well, I said they're all vary, but
Oh,
it'll
sorry,
be
you
this
start.
Sunday night.
This Sunday.
This
night.
Sunday's the next one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This Sunday night, and then I'm taking a break, gonna go down under to Australia.
No
Go
way.
There, you better believe it.
That sounds
Have you
fun.
been before?
Yeah, this will be my 4th time to go to Australia. It's on the top of my list.
How hot is it in Australia right now?
Well, it's winter down there, like it
Oh,
is in
perfect.
Brazil.
Perfect. That'll be nice.
I've been to Brazil a lot as well. I went to see the Boto, the pink dolphins on the Amazon.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
International.
The Brazilians are the worst lovers, by the way.
Why do you say that?
Well, that's my story to talk about some other time.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
That's
you
it.
know?
That's in the show.
Huh?
That's in the show.
No. I do say drinky drinkies. That's how they call cocktails in Brazil. Drinky drinkies.
Yum.
She's gonna get in her time machine and go back to before she slept with that Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
well, actually, I don't sleep with anybody. I like to keep my, toothpaste in the tube or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Try not to. Asexual is my safety word.
So besides hanging out with the immigrant staff, how's Provincetown treating you?
It's been great. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm happy to be here. Got to see Edie, who's coming on.
Mhm.
First time. I haven't seen her, and I've always followed her.
Legend.
And I've enjoyed Marla's show, and it's been fun. I've been doing the Monday night show girls for some promotion, so why not? It's been fun.
Excellent.
And I took a nice bike ride.
It's a good place for that. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank y'all for having
Yeah.
me.
Kill the people. We'll see you soon.
Check out Tammie's show, Time Machine, at the Red Room. Check out her Instagram for all the dates that are happening there.
And now, a weekend update from Babes and Boys.
Yeah, take it away, Sam and Carmen.
Good morning, everyone. So we're going to dive right in this week. Starting today, there's a correction. Actually, today is when the movie The Way We Were is at the Mary Heaton Vorse House from the Provincetown Film Society and P-Town Film. Also, Mama Tits is at the Crown and Anchor tonight, and this week only. Come check out Mama Tits. Also, if you are around from 4 to 7, get your tickets for the Strawberry Social at the Summer of Sass House. It's sure to be a great time and an annual event, so come check it out in its inaugural year. Also, this is the final week for Peregrine Sondheim Review, all-female cast, tonight and Saturday. Come get your tickets. And then if you haven't had enough of Barbie, there is a Barbie and Ken exhibit at the Art Love Gallery tonight.
Awesome. Starting Saturday, we have Pink at the post office. You can get tickets online or at their box office right there at the Post Office Cabaret. There's also a visiting DJ Valentino, one of our favorites from New York, coming for Glow Pop. That's at Crown and Anchor at 9 o'clock on Saturday. Sunday is Cassette Roulette, and that is a one-off concert from the team behind Wash Ashore Fest at 9:30, so that's exciting. Monday, we have Clam Jam again, 12 to 4, one of our favorite pool hangs for the queer and sappically inclined. Great deal on oysters and shrimp and cool vibes poolside. The Tribal Dance Party from a few weeks back is coming back to Way Downtown with DJ Sam and Sylvie on drums. That's Monday night. Tuesday, we have See You Next Tuesday at the brewery at 6 p.m., followed by a really rad sound bath for the full moon by Olivia at 7:30. You're asked to meet at the Big Blue Chair and then walk to the beach location.
That's from Sole Luna.
Yes. And then Let Me Be Your Star is 9 to 11, and that is at the Wave Bar at Crown and Anchor, a really fun live karaoke moment with a live pianist. We've been this week, and it was really fun, so be sure to check that out soon.
And if you can't get enough of singing and show tunes, Liz and Ann Calloway, Broadway royalty, will be at the Art House from the 2nd through the 5th of August. And Thursday, come check out Brittany Rolfs and Clint Morris at the Porch Bar, or come check out Hillary at the Crown and Anchor doing her one-woman show.
It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, jam-packed. We'll see you out there.
Thank you, Sam and Carmen. Check out all of those events.
Please welcome to the show Miss Amber Martin. Amber, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me all.
Thank you for being here.
Welcome to Provincetown.
Well, thank you.
You've been here a bunch.
I've been here a lot. I used to do the Afterglow
Oh, right.
Festival, and that was my big introduction to wonderful Provincetown. And it's quite a journey. I live in New York City, and it's quite the journey to get here. Like it's an effort. It's a day-long thing, unless you have a car, which I don't. So.
Did you do train to ferry?
Train to ferry. That's the most economical way.
I feel like once you get on the ferry, it's like it starts though, the vacation, the trip.
And I love a train. If anybody out there knows me, I'm a big Amtrak gal.
Wink, wink.
I call it Amtrak.
So you're in town for this Sunday's show. It is at the Crown and Anchor. It is called Cassette Roulette, starring you and Jonathan Cameron Mitchell.
John Cameron Mitchell, that is correct. And
featuring some local favorites too, right?
Yes, we've got some local friends and family in the show today. As we always have guests. So you want me to say a little bit about them?
I would love that.
Okay, so a lot of us know, many of us know who John Cameron Mitchell is. And John and I have been, well, kind of like brother, sister since the day we met. Like we instantly were like, you got records? I got records. Let's have a dance party.
Yes.
You know, kind of vibe. And so we've just been doing things together for like what I think 15 or 16 years.
Damn.
And I was his featured guest on his Origin of Love tour. And he was like, you know what? I love it. I love doing this, and I don't want to not love doing this. So he goes, let's just you and me write a show together, and then I can actually, I can do half of the show, and he can do half, so he can actually enjoy doing the show and not like holding all the weight of the show. And I get it. I do single person shows too, and it's a lot. It's fun, but it's exhausting. So he gets to watch me and I get to watch him, and then it reminds both of us why we started doing this, to begin with. It's like goes back to the beginning of when you put on that show in your garage,
right?
Which this show's a little better than that, but the show is called Cassette Roulette. Am I talking too much?
No, you're doing great.
Tell us.
I haven't gone to sleep yet. See? Just kidding. Give me another shot. No, calm down.
I thought you were just
You're
glitching.
No. I'm doing the Mitch.
23 seconds.
Empathy, Amber.
Just kidding.
So it's called Cassette Roulette.
Thoughts and prayers. It's called Cassette Roulette. John and I wrote it together, and it's the idea that it involves the audience, because we want you to pick the song.
Oh.
And so it took a little bit, it wrote itself basically. And so we have a giant cassette tape prop on stage that actually spins. And one of the wheels is my big fat head, and the other wheel is her big fat head. And then the random audience member pushes the button on the cassette, and it goes.
That's so cute.
Click. And his wheel has all the things of his career, his early Broadway shows like The Secret Garden, and the movie he did when he was young called Band of the Hand. That's a deep cut. And for me, it's got like my roster of things over my career, and like I do a Janis Joplin, because I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, where we claim Janis as ours, and Bette Midler, I do a Bathhouse Bette show, which I want to bring here one day. I think it would be rocking.
We would love that.
People would love it. I know it would be so good. it would work well with the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm just kidding.
Bathhouse. Mr. Boy Beach Orgy himself.
Stop it.
Anyway, but it's fun because our poor band had to learn 5,000 songs for this show because you just don't really know where it's going to land, and so it's really just crazy. It's fun, and we wail. We have fun together.
Work.
Do you think it's possible we could get like a little taste of what the show might be?
Oh my God, let's do a duet. Let's do a roulette right now.
I have an idea.
Okay. They had to learn 500 songs
Yeah.
for this series.
Yeah.
This show.
Let's each pick a song.
We're each gonna pick a song, and we're gonna flip a coin. And if it lands on heads, you'll sing my song. And if it lands on tails, you'll sing his song.
Okay.
What song do you want Amber to sing?
I do want to say one thing.
Oh, sure.
Just in case I don't get to come back.
Oh,
and
yeah,
talk
yeah.
for a
Absolutely.
second. I feel this is the time I have to tell some people about some things that are
Yes.
happening.
Oh yeah.
So, first of all, tonight I'm guesting in Jack Bartholet's show at the post office at 8:30 tonight, and he's the most beautiful. Do you know Jack?
I don't.
He's the most beautiful singer. I think he looks like a young Elvis. Like he's a dreamboat, and he's just a dear friend. And the show is great. I wouldn't plug it if it wasn't, and I really wouldn't. So go. I'm doing a little song on that show tonight. Surprise!
I love that.
And then also October 7th and 8th, fast forward to the Washoe Shore Festival. This is the third year. Have y'all been yet? So it'll be my first year. But John and I are going to come back and do some stuff in the Washoe Shore Festival. We're going to have a DJ party.
Yeah.
7th and 8th of October. Don't miss it.
Yeah, Cassette Roulette this Sunday is a Washoe Shore event. It's like a little preview of what's going to be happening this upcoming Indigenous Peoples Day weekend for the 3rd annual Washoe Shore Music Festival.
We're going to announce the lineup live.
Oh,
We're
right.
gonna announce the lineup.
Damn.
Oh, I forgot I was supposed to say that.
No, Washoe Shore has quickly become, this is the 3rd year that they're going to be doing it. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite weekends in town. It is one of the most interesting, diverse crowds you'll see in Provincetown. The music artists that they bring here are utterly incredible. A few of them I discovered here through the Washoe Shore Festival, and they've entirely taken over my Spotify. Really amazing stuff. Make sure to be here that weekend.
More?
Any other notes for you?
Mitch.
Okay, what song do you want to do? Wait, did you pick a song?
Oh, what song do you want her to do?
My Heart Will Go On, the classic.
I'm gonna go with Didn't We Almost Have It All by Whitney Houston.
Wow.
It's really hard to sing.
You're ready.
What time is it in the morning?
You're ready at 9:30.
Sure, I didn't go to sleep yet.
Oh, damn.
It's heads.
Which means
Okay,
yours.
great.
Didn't we almost have it all?
Which
Yeah.
means we're gonna do I Left My Weed in Texas.
Oh.
This is on? Great. Oh shit, start it over. Start it over. I've got to get ready. Here we go. I did not take acid this morning. Promise. You didn't think I'd ever leave you, but then you never left me much. Just a phone bill and a baby and the keys to your old truck. So I packed up all my sorrows, left the baby on the lawn. I sold the truck outside of Beaumont and I got gone. But I left my weed in Texas and that ain't cool. It's the only thing in Texas that I long for more than you. Found new love, well good for you, love, but just played me for a fool. Oh, I left my weed in Texas and that ain't cool. Hitchhiked from Austin up to Boston, where it chilled me to the bone. I never spent one night alone. I met a good man in a barroom. He said, I only want the truth. I said, I left my weed in Texas, and that ain't cool. Now y'all sing along with me now. Oh, I left my weed in Texas, and that ain't cool. No, it ain't. It's the only thing in Texas that I long for more than you. You big drama, oh shit, don't miss your mama. Oh, she prayed I'd stay with you. Oh, I left my weed in Texas, and that ain't cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amber.
Oh my God. Amber Martin, everybody. You can check her out with John Cameron Mitchell, Ryan Landry, Kaya Cristal, Joel Santos on Sunday night.
At the Crown and Anchor.
Sunday at the Crown
At
and Anchor.
9:30, right?
9:30, right after Dina Martina.
Excellent.
Speaking of the
Thank
Crown
you
and
so
Anchor, this is the artist who has their show up at the library for the next month. His name is Georg Meyer-Wiel. Check him out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you guys.
I love you
And his name is Georg Meyer-Wiel. Welcome. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you so much, and for pronouncing my name right.
I did it. So you arrived this past Monday from London. How's that treating you?
With a slight jet lag.
That's not so bad, though.
But Provincetown is making up for it.
Perfect. I'm sure Provincetown will help with that. So you're here at the Crown and Anchor this weekend to show off your new show, The Airmails.
Yes, we're opening it on Friday, so tomorrow from 6 to 9, but it's on for a month. And I'm actually here over a series of Fridays during the gallery stroll.
So you have a kind of a varied background in graphic design, in costuming, in painting. How does that all funnel into the show?
Right, I've got a bit of a mixed background, as you say. So I did study communication design in Germany, that's where I'm from. And my focus was photography, painting and drawing, and book design, and calligraphy and blah, blah. So I thought eventually I end up being a graphic designer or something. And then I started to collect all these documents, these historical, because I was really into type fonts and stuff. And I worked as a calligrapher for a greeting card company to earn some money during my studies and stuff.
You got to do it.
And that is actually also how I ended up now, decades onwards, working on these historical documents and drawing on them, because I ended up with hundreds of amazing documents that are bought on flea markets and antique stores and stuff, and from dealers. Originally because I want to get inspired for my studies. That was in the 90s. And then like 20 years onwards, I'm using them for a different purpose, yeah. But I did end up in London doing my master's in menswear. So I studied fashion design. After that, I started my own label. Didn't like so much working in the fashion industry, so I became a costume designer for opera and ballet and contemporary dance, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, and designed about 30 productions or so, and I really enjoy it, but the pandemic put a real halt to it. Then it made me focus completely on fine art.
That's great.
And it was so great that I actually didn't go back to costume design. And in all honesty, I don't miss sewing.
Right.
Because that's one thing you gotta do when you're a costume designer, right? You also have to make things. So I've been always doing parallel the design side and the artistic side. And I really struggle doing both, because in art, you sort of question problems and you almost create them, whilst in design you solve them. And these two different souls are battling in my chest parallelly, so like fighting for attention. So I'm really quite happy to focus on fine art now.
We're happy too. It's really beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So how does dressing the male form kind of inform how you draw and paint the male form? Is there any kind of overlap or anything?
Well, there certainly is. I'm hugely interested in the male form and in movement, and I mean, I could go way back to reasons why I started studying fashion design. I was a trained taxidermist, so I learned how to actually work with skins and all this, and you really learn how anatomy works and stretchy areas need to be reinforced and stuff. So so I've been working with all this material, and I've been always looking at dressing and undressing and all this, and there are great artists who've been doing this, and like Michael Leonard, for example, who's one of my superheroes in art. And I think it's more interesting than simply just having the nude as such, because there's so much more texture and drama to it, you know, in someone undressing, and it's quite erotic and it's beautiful. And you can question dress codes as well, and how the world has changed, and body culture. And a lot of my work is about looking at dress code and body culture and asking oneself, so would people have had the same life 100 years ago? Obviously not. You know, we have the privilege to live with rights that our fathers and forefathers fought for with their lives, you know, and we take them for granted. And in many parts of the world, there are these, just especially for gay men, you know, I know in many parts of the world, also that I've traveled to, these rights don't exist, you know. So I like to take life models in today's scenarios and put them back into these narratives from 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Right. Some of these documents go back to the early 1720s or something. So, and put people into that context, and especially if the documents are from places in the world where the human rights situation is dreadful, like this one here. You know, this one is called Lagos 1952. You know. There's one here. Earlier, and there's a document from Uganda there. There's so lots of sub-Saharan Africa. There's this one here is from Riyadh. I mean, it's like Saudi Arabia, you know?
Wow.
Talk about human rights there.
For the airmail, what made you select certain documents with certain images? What made you like put it together?
Okay, yeah, I mentioned earlier that I did graphic design, and I've been always interested in the layout, the elements that create the composition on a sheet. So you've got obviously time and place, because there was a document is from somewhere. There is a color scheme, there are details that create some sort of layout that you can work around. So the boy just above you, for example, he's sort of leaning over on a counter, which is also the cover motif for the show, you know, but that's simply just a graphical element in the composition, you know. And there's always tongue-in-cheek messages in there that you can just take for the titles and so. And ultimately, whatever you do, when you draw someone on a historical document, you place that person in that time and place, and he becomes the protagonist in that era. And so there are over 50 different narratives from across the world here, and I made sure it's a good balance from literally everywhere in the show.
Where did you collect the documents from?
I am a crazy hunter on flea markets, and I don't leave out a single antique store and
without digging through
auctions
everything.
And stuff. Yeah, and my partner always goes like, when we go traveling, he was like, "Oh, please, can we just go to the beach?" No, I want the antique stores first.
Hours in antique stores.
Absolutely, hours and hours.
I love that. Well, your show is up for the next month here at the library at the Crown and Anchor.
Yes.
And you're going to be here on Fridays.
Absolutely.
For gallery shows.
At least this Friday and the last Friday. Might even be here this coming week.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for sitting down with me this morning.
Oh, thank you all for listening. Thank you for your time.
Congratulations on a beautiful show.
Thanks.
Stop by Georg's show at the library every Friday night for part of the gallery stroll. You can also email him if you want to stop by or see any of his other work.
And please welcome back to the show my dear friend Edie. Dance, Edie, dance!
Dance, Edie, dance.
So that's the name of the show this year.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the performers, when they're coming up with the name of their show for the next year, we're all trying to think of something super clever and super, like last year was Edie with a D. And then it was a tribute because it was the 50th anniversary of Liza with a Z.
Work.
And then I was a Fosse dancer and stuff, and so it was really fun to do all those songs. And then this year I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I kept flashing back to P-Town last summer, where people would be walking down the street. Because, I was gone for so long. I was gone for a really long time. And so I came back and people would be like walking down the street and they'd say, oh, Edie, you're back. Can you still dance?
Wow.
Yeah, so a little bit of a revenge show.
I love a revenge show. Those are the best shows.
Now he's definitely coming.
A little bit of a revenge show. It's like, can I? So, and then there's a surprise at the end.
Heard.
I know, I can't tell you. I can't.
Because you had been in Las Vegas doing Cirque du Soleil for so long.
Yeah. 13 years.
Damn.
Over 5,600 shows.
That's amazing.
And I say that because I looked at the number and it was 5,600 and something. And then we did many, many, many more shows. And then COVID.
Right.
So I don't know what the final number is, but it's way over that. But I should say over 5,600 shows.
Well, like Amber was just saying, you have shows where it's just you, like Dance Edie Dance, and then you have shows like that where you were part of an ensemble, and like, which do you like better?
They're both magical, but being part of that ensemble and being part of a big corporate company was nice financially and insurance-wise, and that you just show up, get dressed. I had 2 dressers. I mean, I forgot how to dress myself. It was, like...
I feel like performing in a town like Provincetown, it's like you feel like you're, even though you have your own show, you feel like you're a part of an ensemble, because I'm sure you're in those dress rooms with Anita and all the other performers there.
No, because our shows are stacked.
Oh.
So we don't get to share that kind of gossipy fun time. I really wish we did, because I love them all so much. But I love doing my solo show because it's I can tell my stories, which is fun. And I have a really weird, unique story, a fun story. I mean, I'm from Oregon. There's a lot there.
When did you first start taking dance lessons?
I was 8 years old.
Damn.
And my brother and sister, we all went into a dance class, which was really unique because we were out. Wait, what am I doing? We are outside of the city limits of Portland, and then to have my father and my mother want to give us something more than they had, because we were really, really poor. I mean, we had no gas heat, we had no electric heat, we had a stove.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing that, we had to keep that stove going or we were freezing. And, but then my dad, it was so important for him to put us through dance.
That's
and
amazing.
I was obsessed. I could not take enough classes, which was exciting because then I was a professional dancer right out of high school.
And look where it's taken you.
Yeah.
So many places.
Yeah. Right here at the PBC.
Woo!
At PBC.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And so we know Fosse's one of your greatest influences.
Yeah.
Who else?
And Ryan King, one of the greatest dancers. I love Valentino. I was in the ballet for 11 years professionally, and I fell in love with ballet. It wasn't anything I wanted to do, but when the local ballet says, hey, we're going to pay you $175 a week. Oh, I thought it was, I was like, really? So I called Wendy's and quit. I am a professional dancer now. But I fell in love with the ballet, and I love like Valentino style because it's ballet, but it's kind of jazzy American, it's not that stuffy. And as much as I love being in the ballet, I just love dancing and the technique and like falling out of a turn, and then your head's like, oh, I could do this. I love all of that stuff.
And it's not just dancing, though. You sing, too. I don't know if you were there, but at the Thirsty Burlington benefit where everybody did a Cher number, I wasn't expecting to see you sing Cher that night.
I know. They were like, we want you to be a part of it. I had one Cher song that was written for me a long time ago. I mean, not written for me. An arrangement was done, and it was Bang Bang. So right away, I was like, I have one song, it's Bang Bang. Is anybody doing it, And so I got to do it, and it was really fun. It was really fun, because it's really dance heavy also. But it's intimidating to perform Bang Bang in front of somebody who knows Cher so well, Thirsty, But it was such an honor to be asked. I'm so happy.
And I could see Thirsty from where I was sitting, and she loved it.
Yeah. I didn't do the whole Cher like.
Right. There were a couple of those.
I'm sure.
You can't help it, right? Can't help it.
So tell everybody what nights your show is, real quick.
I'm Sunday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Oh my God, I glitched too. It's a thing. It's a thing now. Everybody's glitching. And I don't care if they write about me. You're gonna get those notes. It's Sunday, Mondays, and Wednesdays. Sundays at 7, Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30. And I'm doing brunch.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Which day?
They asked me today, Friday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Right after this?
Right after this.
Wow.
That's why I'm dolled up at the crack of dawn.
Excellent.
They asked me if I wanted to do brunch, and I was like, ugh. Like, it's that whole do I want to and stuff. I am having a blast.
Good.
I'm really having a blast. It is so much fun. We do 2 seatings. I just hope I don't slip on a potato skin,
It
Just
happens. It happens.
Careful. Right, 1 potato skin, and they'll be like, Edie, can you dance? I could until that potato skin.
Well, check out her show Sunday, Monday, Wednesday at the post office, and check out their drag brunch on Fridays to check out Edie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making some time to be here. I love you.
Oh, anytime. I love you guys.
Yay.
We want to thank our sponsors.
The Crown and Anchor, Provincetown Brewing Company, The Boat Slip, The Shipwreck at the Brass Key, Provincetown Business Guild. That's them all. That's all of them, right?
So.
Yeah.
You guys, tk you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
And we'll see you next Friday.
Dance, Edie, dance. We did it.
I don't know how you do it.
Wake up, wake up.